Veletes, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all.
Bitch, I'm from America. Okay. I'm not African. Okay. Watch your mouth. Be fighting with that. Watch your mouth. I said be fighting with that. Watch your mouth talking to me. Don't call me fucking African. You African booty statue. You hear me? You're wasting my time. So, what is wrong with you? You ain't never finna disrespect me and my shit. You're in America. Go home. I don't do you. I'm going to Africa next week. I'm not like you. I'm not like you. Stay there. I'm American Indian, bro. You're not finna call me African, bitch ass nigga. I'm not like you. I know where I come from. Bitch. On TikTok. You don't finna make you famous, you African booty scratch. Thank you. What is wrong with you? Thank you. You don't know your... Yeah, bitch, get my views. You keep on.
Thanks to our African uncle, he did try his best trying to help our sister just to know where she came from or where her origin is from. She's like, no, I am Indian. She says that she is native to the United States. She's an Indian, you know, even like white folks are not native to the United States, by the way. You have specific people, Native Americans that are native to that land. Black people are not native to that place. Let me say these things. White folks are not native to that place. But this sister, for some reason, she is crashing out. She want to have she want to have nothing to do with, you know, Africa, to in fact hear the history and something like that. But for some reason, you know, uncle was just trying his best, and like uncle was not upset, you know, at her, because uncle knows exactly this type of people are there. They call themselves FBS, you know, like they want to have nothing to do with black Africans or the continent of Africa. They are not from Africa. They will tell you that they are natives from the United States. I'm not saying that, you know, there are no blacks who are not natives, because in America, people mix, you know. You might see someone today with a black skin. Maybe somewhere down there, you know, they have intermarried with the natives. Then that makes them a native as well to the Americas, you know, by the way. But in this case, like majority of our black people are from the continent of Africa. Like their origins are from the continent of Africa. And that is just the reality and the facts, whether they like it or not. Because even today in 2026, you can trace everything back, what happens throughout all of these decades or years, you know, throughout the history. There are facts, you know, where you can go and see it for themselves or see it for yourselves to know what happens exactly. But yeah, kudos to this uncle. At least he did try his best. The lady was just crashing out for some reason. But hey, we will always have such people in every society. She does not represent black Americans indeed. Let me just say that one.
American individuals out here claiming you're not African descent, you're indigenous, this is for you. In case there's any confusion like there was on my last video. If you're not one of the individuals, keep scrolling. Anyway, you're practicing bad medicine. Your family's gonna start getting sick. You're gonna start getting sick. They're gonna start to lose their limbs. Everyone's gonna start.
Oh, she's trying to wish bad upon us for telling the truth. Well, the truth is gonna be the truth regardless of how you feel, honey. And the truth is, you're not the indigenous people of the land. We are. Us black Americans, American Indians. We're the true indigenous people of this land, so you can stop lying. And all that harm that you're wishing upon us is going to fall right back on you 10 times fold.
Well, if that's the case, it doesn't help her story either, because by the early 1700s, the Muscogee Nation, or the Creek Nation, was taking African slaves because they were getting a good look at the colonies and looking at what Europeans were doing with their plantations and everything, and saw how useful African slavery labor really was. What the fuck? Oh, it's a neighbor. So there was like Creek Native Americans who had like their own plantations, like with slaves and like, you know, thousands of cattle and shit like that. And by the early 1800s, the Creek Nation actually codified fucking slavery into their constitution, or into their laws or whatever. I think like by like, I don't know, fucking early 18 teens, maybe like 1811 or some fucking bullshit. After the Civil War, 1866 or whatever, the United States forced the Muscogee Nation into a treaty to accept the African slaves that they had as like full tribal citizens. And actually, the Creek Nation actually had fucking segregation. They started segregating the black people, much like, you know, under Jim Crow. You know, the natives set up their own schools, and that the new freedmen or the African descendants weren't allowed to attend until there was a bunch of political pressure in the 1870s, where they built like 5 different schools for African kids. And then once Oklahoma got its statehood in the early 1900s or whatever, all the African descendants in the Creek Nation, that's when you saw the federal reclassification. All the descendants in the Creek Nation were just recategorized as Negro and fucking force them into school with other black people. But this is an issue. This particular issue is still going on in the courts today. This is in 2022. You see Native American history, a hearing scheduled about black claims to Native citizenship. More specifically, the hearing will address the long-running demands of the descendants of black people who were enslaved by the Creek Nation that they be granted tribal citizenship and corresponding rights. Because in the 1970s, the Creek Nation redid their constitution or whatever, and changed that citizenship was by blood. And because the African slaves that they had are not part of that blood, I mean, obviously now I'm sure, you know, some people were hooking up. Maybe she has her ancestries on both sides or whatever. You know, I mean, I do, like, I myself have one grandfather generations back that was like a Native American, whatever. So, I mean, you know, we're all on the same land, you know, things happen or whatever. But the idea, if you're of African descent, doesn't mean that you are Native American. It just means that some tribes had you as a slave or had Africans as slaves as well. Not that they're fucking indigenous to this land. So, I mean, you know, if she's actually a descendant of a Creek Native American, then yeah, she's got birthright. But if she is a descendant of Africa, of African descent, then it just means her people were enslaved by the Creeks because they're not indigenous to this fucking land. So, either or. I just saw our video and I just got fucking triggered because, like I said, I've been seeing more and more of these fucking videos, and it's probably because I interact with one and now the algorithm or whatever. But it was just like a week ago, I saw someone trying to say that Harriet Tubman was like a fictional character made up by like a white woman and stuff. Like, it's just, I don't know what's going on here, but it's fucking insane. But yeah, you know, that's the story of the Creek Nation, right? Actually, there was when they first got introduced to each other, it's like because of the Spanish in like the 1500s. There was some parts where they were like equal. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't immediately like they were slaves. It wasn't until like the early 1700s when like Native Americans, the Creeks, started getting a good look at what the European settlers were doing with their fucking slave labor, where they kind of got the idea and they were going into white settlements, either taking slaves or convincing them to run away with them and stuff like that, and then they would enslave them. But yeah. Anyway, good talk.
When I apply to jobs, I don't mark African American on the application.
Wait, why not?
Because my ancestors aren't African.
Oh.
So,
are you like Caribbean or something?
No.
Oh. Are you like Latino?
No. Have you ever heard of Anunnaki?
I can't say I have.
Yeah, my ancestors are Anunnaki.
Oh, okay, cool. So like, where is that like regionally?
So
This is the exact type of person you're talking about, bro.
We've never been the same species. Never have been. The reason why my skin color is brown is because I'm the Anunnaki species. And the reason why you have a different color than me is because you're the human species. The humans are not from planet Earth. They're from planet Nern. This is a planet with no sun. It's only cold.
This nigga gets online to spread misinformation all day, bro. Every post that you go to see right now is going to have like a misinformation warning on it. Somehow it doesn't get taken down. Somehow his page is still up and they are constantly warning that this is straight up misinformation. It's fucking insanity, dude. I have had multiple videos taken down for less and for misinformation. Crazy fucking work. And this dude is sitting up online telling people they're from a different damn planet. And people are listening to this. This is crazy.
Oh, okay. I see how it is. So we can't say anything. I thought the civil rights movement is over. I thought the Jim Crow era was over. I thought the plantation days were over. We still can't even speak up about our ancestry, with every race from all over the world flooding to our TikTok videos to jump in the comments and tell us who we are. Welcome to the cookout. See, Chief, yeah, son, gonna make you choose. Yeah, I'm gonna make you choose. I'm gonna give you a choice. Either you gonna stop being prejudiced to our people, or you give up your love for our musicians and our culture. Let's get into it. Jimi Hendrix, the Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, ladies and gentlemen, had a full-blooded Cherokee Indian. Let's go look and see who his grandmothers were. There's one melanated woman. Beautiful. That's one of the grandmothers. Y'all probably sit here, where's the other grandmother? She's probably very light-skinned if she's Cherokee. All right. Let's see the other grandmother. Oh, okay. Okay, so you tell me which one is full Cherokee Indian. Oh, by the way, I thought we were lying.
It's so amazing how we want other people to respect us as black people, yet we do not want to respect and accept and love ourselves. There's a video about an African man with a black American. And this black American woman is bent on denying the fact that she's from Africa, but she accepts the fact that she is an Indian. And was even asking the African man to go back to Africa. Like, are we for real as a people? See, as black people, you can never be respected worldwide, wherever you go. We are so strong and vocal when it comes to fighting among ourselves. Yet, we can never be so strong towards the people who intimidate us, who continue to see us not to be equal to them. See how vocal she was. See, black Americans, it's funny that some of us just don't want to accept the simple truth. You claim you are indigenous Americans. You were there before Columbus. You never came from Africa. It's because you don't know your history. And before you get to know who you are, you must know where you come from. Like the man said, when I pick my bag, I know where I'm going. The same place you claim you are from, the people don't even want you to be part of, because the systems that are kept in place are not favorable to you. You sold the narrative that the person is not from America, so he must go back. What is he doing in America? Who told you are from America? None of you is from America. Even the so-called foundational Black Americans are not from America. The people left here, South Africa, West Africa, and then East Africa, traveled all the way to America because they used to exploit. It's just like what is happening to us all in Africa. Today we have Ghana, we have Nigeria, we have so many, but we all migrated from one part of Africa. We only have 3 places in Africa: Egypt, Sudan, and Ethiopia. We all moved, and today we have different African countries. And these things, we didn't even have countries. It is the colonizer who gave us these things. We only had kingdoms. So, a Black person is refusing the fact that she is from Africa. Why? Because you are sold the narrative that Africa is poor. Africa do not have that. But you that is even in America, everything depends on Africa. Without us, there's no West. And sometimes it baffles me, like how people live on paycheck to paycheck. People don't even understand what it is to own a land. And they see Africans who own a land, who buy everything with cash, who don't live on credit, pointing fingers at us and don't want to associate themselves with us because they are told that we are poor. Look at the actress who went to Kenya. You went there and what you want to confirm is what the colonizer has said. What is a mirror? Who told you these kids don't have mirror? Do you know when Africans started looking at themselves? And even before the so-called mirror, Africans could look at you and carve you. Haven't you seen this, our artifacts? How were they able to do that? Before you think that we don't know who we are, we don't even know how we look like. We only saw it through your phone. It's the same narrative they come here and give us about you. Can't you see how people are succeeding in dividing the African and you continue to allow them to divide you? Anyway, we don't even want people who don't want to be Africans. You understand? You can continue to lie to yourselves the way you want, but the truth will always be there. And until you accept the truth, you continue to struggle. And until you, the Africans, the Black people worldwide, accept yourselves, nobody will ever respect and accept you.